weakness. Guilty on a mesh, no secret. Flick of the wrist, no sleep.
How you doing, Dominic? Good to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, how's that fight week going for you right now? How are you feeling?
Um, it's it's kind of it's weird because I've never done it. I mean, it's obviously new circumstances. I'm used to a specific protocol in my past fights, and now we're under these COVID protocols, so it's very different. So it's a little bit weird, like I'm doing this interview like this instead of seeing your face, but everything's normal as for my weight cut, as for everything else.
Well, you've experienced this part of the sport without the fans as a commentator, but you've never had it as a fighter, right?
One time. I was the very first fight in COVID, and I've been in here a lot commentating fights, so I know that you'll hear the commentators and you'll hear your coaches. To me, it's reminiscent of high school wrestling matches when you've got like the two coaches yelling at you, you got the big light
Right,
shining down
right.
on you in the middle of the wrestling mat, and very limited fans are at the wrestling meets because of the singlets, and in high school everybody's scared of the singlets, so there's not a lot of fans. So it's pretty similar to that. It takes me back to my wrestling days.
Well, you're one of the true OGs of the sport. Your career is something that fans and media will cherish alike. Because of the way you fight, the inspiration you gave to the MMA community after your comeback to the game, reclaiming the title against tremendous odds, and of course, because of of your body of work, which includes some amazing rivalries. What would you say is your favorite rivalry from all your career? Faber, Benavides, Dillashaw, or is it somebody else?
Man, I mean, if you think about it, Faber, TJ Dillashaw, and Benavidez was all the same rivalry. They're
Yeah,
all
it's
from the same
basically
camp.
you versus alpha male, right?
It was, yeah. So I'd have to go with that. And rivalries bring the best out of each other. So you can't have Batman's got Joker, Superman has Kryptonite and all that's like whoever comes to him, Lex Luthor. Um,
I'm
you
just really
need
curious about the segue that you're gonna do with Favor and the guys as I don't know superheroes.
he's not really the villain. I think I was more the villain at the time back then, to be honest, perceived that way because he was more known than me. But you need that dynamic in order to create the most emotion and the most want and need to see these fights. I mean, look at John Jones and Daniel Cormier. Those were some of the coolest rivalries too. There's so many cool rivalries out there that I'm honored to have had it with them, and they're all like some of the best athletes in the world. So um, yeah, what can you say other than that?
Yeah, absolutely. I completely understand that. Well, right now you're in a spot of the card that caused mild controversy. Some people were surprised to see you in the prelims, but you're actually cool with it due to the fact that it brings more exposure, right? Can you comment on what's like for you to compete against an exciting prospect like Casey Kenny in that viewership sweet spot in such a landmark event?
Yeah, I appreciate people standing for me and saying Dominic should be on the main card, but in all honesty, it's one of the most viewed slots on the entire fight card, if not more than the main event itself. I mean, people are tuning into the main card to watch the main event. Don't get me wrong, but this is a free fight on ESPN, so everybody's going to be watching it, and it leads the card off like the lead hitter of the baseball game or the lead hitter of the lineup. So I'm excited to be there. Casey Kenny is, like you said, in an exciting matchup because of his durability, his skill set. He's improved a lot in his striking over the last three fight win streak that he's pieced together. I've lost my last two fights. They were title fights. They were amongst some of the best in the world. So I'm excited to test myself against somebody who's on a win streak. And that's what this is. It's really just a big test for myself. It's not anything else. It's like, how can I challenge myself? The UFC is the NFL of fighting. It's the best organization in the world, hands down, plain, simple, period. And the number one reason is because we are drug tested, I believe. That's one of the main reasons. We're drug tested, so there's no cheating going on. It's physically impossible to cheat with USADA on your back, in my opinion. So that makes it the uh, cleanest organization in the sport right now, period. And then the competition is at the highest level too. So I'm excited to be here, and I'm grateful for it. The Lord has blessed me.
Well, sir, best of luck on your fight. On a more personal note, I really want to thank you for bringing so many glory days to the Cruz last name. We share last name, so I may or may not have said that we were cousins on Twitter once. So thank you so much for your time, man, and best of luck on Saturday.
Thanks, Kaz.